The average Korean is actually atheist, but it is undeniably clear that there is very strong Christian influence in the country right now, which I personally think is a little bit sad. Having grown up Christian, I find Buddhism to be a much more mature practice than Christianity. I attended a meditation retreat last year. During one of the sessions, we heard a story about the Buddha. There was a young woman that very desperately wanted to have a child. She finally gets the kid, but little girl gets sick and then she dies. Mother is obviously distraught. Her entire hopes and dreams have just been crushed. She hears that the Buddha is coming, so she goes up to the Buddha and she says, I've heard that you can do miracles. My baby girl is very sick. She won't wake up. And people around me are saying that she's dead, but I don't believe it. The Buddha is filled with compassion for this woman. He says, I want you to go bring me back a handful of mustard seeds from one of your neighbors. It has to come from a household where no one has died. She runs off, goes knocking at the first door. When the neighbor opens up, she says, can I have a handful of mustard seeds? Sure, I can give you a handful of mustard seeds. Mother remembers, wait, but first, did anybody in your household die? The neighbor says, well, actually, yeah, 2 months ago, we buried my father. He goes, I can't take the mustard seeds. Sorry. Moves on to the next house, knocking again. The neighbor says, sure. Is about to give her the mustard seeds, and she asks the same question. About a year ago, we had to bury my sister. She goes knocking on door after door, talking to neighbor after neighbor, who all gave her the same answer. Someone in our family died. After this repeated exposure to people that have experienced that loss, the mother realizes, I'm not special. My pain isn't different from other people who lost their loved ones. So she returns to the Buddha. She is able to bury her child, to mourn the loss, and then move on with her life. I couldn't help thinking about a very famous Bible story that I grew up learning in church. Jesus is approaching a town. He has heard that there is a girl that's very sick, on the brink of death. By the time he arrives, the child is already dead. Jesus says, the child is not dead, she is only asleep. Of course, she comes back to life. He resuscitates a girl from the dead. It's no surprise that Christianity is way more popular than Buddhism. What is the easier religion to swallow? The one that teaches you your suffering is special, therefore God is going to give you a miracle. Even if someone else doesn't get it, you could be the one to get your dead child back. Or the religion that says your suffering is not special. Everybody goes through pain. It's the acceptance of that pain that gives you true freedom from suffering. When you can stop obsessing over your own problems, that's when you can open yourself up to connection. You can develop compassion for yourself and for others, understanding that there is no us versus them. It is all us. We are all connected through our human experience.